Hey, how's everybody? Mike from Horizontal Zone here, talking red dots today. Thanks for tuning in. Going to do another video. I had a conversation with David from Wyvern Creations last week, 10 days ago. I had to make an order for something, and he said, hey, I want you to take a look at something and tell me what you think. He's got a new line of red dots coming in. He's going to offer with some crossbow packages. I've been a red dot fan for years now. There's a lot of benefits to a red dot. First and the biggest benefit, no parallax. So that cheek weld is not very important like it is on a scope, on a crossbow. A couple examples on why that's important. A friend of mine that I hunt with, Tom, about 3 years ago, he had a stroke and his right side isn't what it used to be, pre-stroke. So, when he gets the crossbow up, he has a hard time getting his cheek down onto the stock. And, without having any parallax, that red dot is perfect. For any of you guys that follow me, you know that, last year I started getting my daughter into shooting crossbows and possibly hunting. When I got her set up, I set her up with a scope, and she had some issues with groupings. If you don't get that cheek well perfect, the groupings kind of open up a little bit. I put a red dot on her bow and just told her wherever the dot is, just pull the trigger. And I tell you, she shrunk her groups down to about a quarter size at 25 yards. So it's a lot of benefits for a red dot. So let's talk a little bit about red dots before we talk about this new product. So over the years, I've learned to shoot some red dots, and I've really grown to like them. On this bow here, this is a Scorpion Deathstalker. I have a Strike Fire 2. That's a Vortex. It's a little bit bigger, got a little longer battery in there, flip-up caps. It's got a heavier mount. So it's got a little bit of weight to it. Other than that, it's fairly user-friendly, and it's got some good uses. The other one is I have a couple of these. Now these are expensive. This was a Zeiss Z-Point. I have this one, and I have another one. I actually have red dots on two turkey guns. I have a Strike Fire 2 on my 12 gauge, and I have a Zeiss Z-Point on my new 20 gauge that I hunted with this year. So the benefits of these to me outweigh some of the drawbacks of not having, any magnification. So let's talk about this new product that Dave told me about. This is the Holosun 512C multi-reticle. Let's do a little bit of an unboxing on this. So if you order this, it's going to come in this package. Open it up. It's got a nice little case. Pop the top off. A little sponge. Comes with a handy dandy cleaning cloth. Your directions. These are clear. These are good directions. Very easy to read. And this thing is action packed with features. And then from there, you're going to have your adjusting tool. This on the top has a Torx bit, enough to tighten it down on the scope rail, and then you have basically it's a flat edge to adjust your your up and down, left and right, your windage adjustments. So here it is. This is the 512C. I weighed this not long today, and it only weighs 8.2 ounces, so it's a very lightweight option. This thing is loaded with features. First of all, the first thing that sticks out to you, it's got a pretty good field of view on there. Compared to this, which has a smaller field of view, this is a nice big field of view on here. Easy to mount to your crossbow or your shotgun or your AR. Basically, you have that mount that goes on there right there. You put that in there and you tighten it up, and that's basically how that works. Your adjustments, your left and right here, your up and down is right there, and again, it's this tool here. Easy for the battery compartment. Let me show you that real quick. You pull this tab open and just kind of rotate it, pull it out. There's a 2032. So easy peasy. You put that in there. Let's get it in there and turn it, lock it, and it's in. And that's it. I mean, that's basically, you're ready to go. And again, I think I pointed this out. It does have solar power. So this is, it's optional. It's automatic. When you turn it on, the battery will fire it up. Like, let's say you get in your blind or you get in your stand, you power it up, it's battery life. Sun comes up, gets a little brighter, solar power takes over, doesn't use the battery toward the end of the day. Again, you got solar power, sun starts going down, battery takes over. So this is a real nice option. If you can tell, it's metal. So this is pretty heavy duty. I do like this a lot. Let's talk a little bit about some of the features of this. First of all, it's multi-reticle. A lot of red dots, this one included, you just get a dot. So on this one, you have your option. You're going to have a dot inside of a circle. That's one option. One option here is just another option, just a circle, no dot. And then the last option here is just a dot. Now you think about, depends on how you like this. If you remember this, anybody that ever used the Hawk XP30 Pro SR, kind of had that type of reticle. Most red dots are just that, a dot. So think about this. I have red dots on my shotguns for turkey guns. Isn't this perfect to turkey? You put that on there, line the wattles up, just let it rip. You've got that. Let's talk a little bit about some of the features for this. Some of the other features. And I'm going to go. There's a ton of how-tos in here. It's really simple to read, but I'm going to go right here. There's one section called features. I'm just going to kind of read that to you. Up to 20,000 hours of battery life using the circle dot, that one, or 50,000 hours using the dot only. That's incredible. You'll never have to change a battery. Advanced super solar technology allows for use in low light conditions. That's this. Takes over for the batteries. Multi-reticle system, which we talked about. The MOA on this, it's a nice small 2 MOA. That's incredibly small. Most of them are 3 MOA. The MOA on the circle is 65 MOA. So again, it gives you a nice thing to aim with if you choose to use that. It's nice and crisp also. It's a shake awake sensor. So in other words, this does have a sleep mode to it. And you just shake it and it comes back to life. The sleep mode, you can have, goes to sleep in 10 minutes, 1 hour, or 12 hours. And you can do that all yourself just with the buttons on the side. So that's pretty nice there. It's got 10 daylight, 2 night vision, compatible brightness settings, fully enclosed housing, so it's impervious to weather. And it is heavy duty, trust me. It's an 1.41 center dot height. So from the dot in the center to your scope rail is 1.41 inches. All the adjustments are protected, so they're all countersunk, so you're really not going to turn them easily. Your windage and your height adjustments. Quick release battery tray, which I showed you, and it's waterproof. So all in all, I think this is a very nice option out there. Anybody's interested in the red dots. Again, I'm a huge red dot fan, and I see a lot of benefits. So I guess the next question is, how would you use this? Well, you have a couple options. So any of you guys that use the Raven jack plate, boom, right on top of the jack plate as you use it, it goes up and down. Anybody, the HHA optimizer, same thing. Once you set it on there, you're good to go. You can do it any way you like. Me personally, how I like to set my red dots, this is one here. I like to mount it just flush on the scope rail, and then I like to do a 30-yard zero. And so I don't do anything. I just use Kentucky windage from there on out. On an average crossbow with a 30-yard zero, you're going to be anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches high at 20, and anywhere from 3 inches to 4 inches low at 40. If you go out to 50 yards, normally whatever's at 40, it doubles at 50. So if you're 3 inches low at 40, you're going to be 6 to 7 inches low at 50. Now, just to think about how I may use this, over here is the 10-point Vapor. Well, this bow here shoots 435 feet per second the way it sits with their Evo X arrows. If you took this scope off and you put this on there, first of all, this scope, these have really heavy duty rings. You're looking probably a little over a pound. I didn't weigh it. It's on the bow. This is half of it at 8 ounces. So you take that off, you put this on, you sight it in at 30, 32 yards dead on. At 40 yards, you're going to be about 3 inches low. And at 20 yards, you're going to be an inch, inch and a half high. So any deer comes out, at 40 yards and in, you basically just put it on center mass, center body, and just pull the trigger. You don't worry about it. It takes care of everything. This is a very nice option for guys who just look for a hunting setup. Now, you guys that are target guys that like to shoot a little further, a couple things happen. You're going to have to get into the optimizer or the jack plate. The other one is, I know it's a 2 MOA, but it's still, you get out there at 80, 90 yards. First of all, there's no magnification, so it's a little tighter to see, and the dot at that far out will really cover up what you're trying to get, so you're not going to be as precise as, say, if you were using a scope with magnification. The other thing, and I don't know, I haven't seen it, but they do have a magnifier that goes with this. So basically you would mount this on the scope rail and you'd have a magnifier behind it, which at that point you could probably get into a little longer distance with a little bit more comfortable shooting. But now it takes the simplicity and makes it a little bit more complicated. I don't know the way of the magnifier. I've seen a picture of it. It's basically a cylinder. It would go in there behind it. But it's an option if somebody wanted to do that. Again, I'm a big fan of red dots. If you're interested in these, well, let's talk about price a little bit. Zeiss doesn't make these anymore. These were great. Again, it's a Z, it's like Zeiss Z Point. $600 is the retail. $600. So that's not a cheap option. This one, who has the same, they both have solar power. The adjustments are simple on that, just like they are here. You have your adjustment here and on the sides. It's half the price. So you're talking $600 retail. The map on this is $359. So a little bit more than half, and you have some great features on this. And then again, that's from Wyvern. I don't know what else you'll find out there. But again, I think Holosun has a pretty tight map system, so everybody should be selling right around that price there. Something to consider. If you're looking for a great hunting option, you're looking for something a little different. If you don't want to worry about the parallax, if you just like the simplicity, and that's why I do it. I set all my bows up for hunting, and then I shoot some target from there, versus a lot of guys like to shoot target and then convert to hunting. I do it a little bit different. This is a great option. You're probably going to see this on one of my crossbows, and to be honest with you, it's probably going to be on this one before the year's over with. That'll be a great hunting bow. So that's it. It's the Holosun, again, 512C multi-reticle red dot sight, and is a great option for somebody who wants something simple, high quality, and won't let you down with a good field of view. So hey, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next edition of the Horizontal Zone.